I wake up, most of the time I have to like rub my face for probably like 10 minutes, so I have to do a lot for that time. And then I get up and I go and like wash my face, brush my teeth, and wash mouthwash and stuff, because I have like a brushing your teeth like habit. I have to do it or I like can't go anywhere. And then come in and I get dressed and I go. Most of the time, that's pretty much what I do. Getting out of bed is probably the hardest thing for me, and all like my roommates or like my friends and stuff always tell me like getting me out of bed is the most difficult thing like in the entire world. So that's really hard. Like everyone thinks that if you get up early every day, it's easy, but it's not. It always sucks. It's just early. I just kind of try to do something really quick. Like I'll sleep in my uniform so I can get up as late as possible, which is always really nice. But it's never late enough.
So there's 3 main components that ROTC has for training. There's PT in the morning, which is physical training. It's for an hour from 6 to 7, 3 days a week. And then the second component is the leadership class that we have to take, and that, depending on what year you are in school, it can be once or twice a week for an hour and 15 minutes. And that's all covered in the lecture portion of the class. And then there's the lab portion of the class where we actually go outside, get all in full Army uniform with your Kevlar. We have weapons that we use, and we go out to the cross-country course in the woods and sort of play Army. And we run different missions throughout a 2-hour period.
Being a female cadet, we have different standards for push-ups and sit-ups, which is nice, and you know it's a little different than the males because we physically just can't keep up sometimes.
So I've always just held myself to the highest standard that there is. So for me, I try to max the guys' score every time, and I try to, if somebody's like, hey, you girls have to do this and the guys have to do this, if I can, I'm gonna try and do the guys as well, because I don't want to be held to a different standard just because I'm a girl. You know, I'm doing the same job. At the end of the day, I have to defend your life just like you have to defend mine. So why should I not be just as equipped as you?
The military science program at IU started in 1840. And to put that in perspective, at the time, there was not what we think of as ROTC today. There were only military academies. There was West Point, there was Norwich, you got your VMI and Citadel, places like that. So the idea of offering an elective military science program at a regular university that wasn't a military academy was a really kind of revolutionary idea. And IU was the first to pilot it as an elective program. So from the very beginning in 1840, IU's military science program has always been on the cutting edge and pushing in new directions when it comes to those sorts of things, which is part of the reason that the inclusion of African Americans and the inclusion of women happened very early at IU in IU's history, and we're part of that cutting edge push again within military science.
Those that earn the privilege to lead our nation's sons and daughters do so based off of demonstrated scholastic, athletic, and leadership potential. Whether they're men or women is irrelevant to me. Our soldiers, our nation's sons and daughters, deserve the best possible leaders, whoever they may be, and that's regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation.
I think that there's definitely a difference between how people outside of the ROTC program see females. A lot of the male cadets will talk about how girls will come up to them and talk to them, and like people will say things to them, but for us, I feel like a lot of the time we just get some weird looks from people who are outside. Just questions towards us are more, why are you doing this? Like, why would you do this as a female? Whereas within ROTC, no one really notices. No one really cares.
I think sometimes they have stereotypical views of either you're going to be gay or you're going to be rough and mean because you're a woman in the military, but that's not the case. There's all types of females in the military, and the same with males. I mean, it's just the route that we want to take in life and what our beliefs are, where we want to be, and fighting for our country and showing that support the best way we know how.
There's kind of a shaded view on females and how well they're going to do at squad tactics and things like that, but I think if the girl is willing, and she should be because she's signed up to be, so as long as you put the effort into it, you can be just equally as good as any other man.
When it comes to like physical stuff, sometimes I do wish I was built like a guy just so I could do that, you know, but I like being a girl, like I like being a girl, so you know, I could deal with it.